Ladies and gentlemen, there is a power inside each of us. Invisible, immeasurable, yet undeniable. It's called energy. And the quality of our lives depends on how we nurture it, protect it, and use it. Today, I invite you on a journey to elevate your energy and in doing so, transform your life. Your mind is the most powerful tool you will ever own. It shapes your beliefs, your identity, your relationships, and ultimately your reality. What you feed your mind on a daily basis determines the quality of the life you live. Think of your mind as a beautiful, fertile garden. Every thought is a seed. Some thoughts plant roses, others plant weeds. What grows depends entirely on what you choose to nurture. Most people live unaware of the thoughts they allow in, and as a result, their mental gardens become overrun with negativity, fear, self-doubt, and comparison. When you begin to truly guard your mind, you take control of your inner world. You become selective about what you consume, not just the food you eat, but the conversations you entertain, the social media you scroll through, the news you absorb, and even the jokes you laugh at. Every word you hear and repeat, every image you see, every story you tell yourself, they are all forming your mental landscape. So ask yourself, what kind of mental environment am I creating? Is it peaceful or chaotic? Is it hopeful or heavy? Is it empowering or exhausting? The mind naturally reflects whatever it's exposed to most. That's why daily mental hygiene is just as important as brushing your teeth. Affirmations, journaling, meditation, and gratitude practices are not just trendy habits. They are spiritual tools to weed out the unnecessary and plant what brings growth. Begin each day by choosing thoughts intentionally. Tell yourself, I am enough. I am capable. I am worthy of joy, peace, and success. At first, it may feel unfamiliar, even uncomfortable. But over time, repetition becomes belief. Belief becomes identity. And identity becomes action. It's also essential to guard your mind from the opinions of others. Everyone will have something to say about your journey, your pace, your choices. But remember, no one lives in your shoes. No one sees your heart the way you do. When you rely too heavily on external voices, you start losing your internal voice. To protect your mental energy, you must learn to say no to distractions, to detach from drama, and to distance yourself from environments that dim your light. Not everyone will understand your growth, and that's okay. You are not here to please everyone. You are here to fulfill your purpose. In the end, the most beautiful minds are those that are deeply rooted in love, gratitude, truth, and clarity. When you guard your mind like a sacred garden, you not only bloom, you create space for others to bloom around you. You lead with a calm presence. You become more intentional, less reactive. Your energy becomes magnetic. And most importantly, you reclaim your power to choose joy even in a chaotic world, because a mind well tended is a life well lived. And every great life begins with a single conscious thought. Your body is not just a vessel. It is your energy center, your emotional storage unit, and your most loyal companion. Every emotion you feel, every trauma you've lived through, every ounce of stress you've endured gets stored in the body, in your muscles, your breath, your posture. And when you stop moving, that emotional energy has nowhere to go. It becomes tension, it becomes fatigue, it becomes illness. But when you move your body, even gently, you begin to move your life. You activate something sacred within you, a connection to yourself that goes deeper than words. Physical movement is not just about fitness or appearance. It's about liberation. It's about shifting stagnant energy and giving yourself permission to feel alive again. Think of how a simple stretch in the morning can awaken your entire being. Think of how dancing can lift your mood, how walking clears your head, how a run can turn stress into strength. Movement creates momentum, not just in the body, but in the mind and soul. You don't need a fancy gym or a perfect body. You just need the willingness to move. Start where you are, with what you have. Science has long proven that the movement releases endorphins, your body's natural feel, good chemicals. But it also does something deeper. It reconnects you to your power. When you move with intention, that is the number R, you remind yourself that you are not stuck, you are not stagnant, and you are not powerless. You are capable of changing your state, your energy, and your emotions through movement. That is a powerful truth, because in moments when life feels overwhelming, your body can become your medicine, your outlet for stress, your channel for healing. In many ancient traditions, movement was a form of spiritual expression. Whether it was yoga, tai chi, tribal dancing, or sacred walking meditations. These weren't just exercises, they were rituals. And maybe that's what we've lost in modern times. We turned movement into punishment, into guilt, into comparison. But in reality, moving your body should be an act of celebration, not shame. An act of gratitude, not guilt. You move because you can, because your heart still beats, because life still flows through your veins. So whether it's stretching for 5 minutes in the morning, dancing in your living room, taking long walks in nature, or practicing a mindful workout, move. Make it a non-negotiable part of your day. Because when you move your body, you release what no longer serves you. You shift your perspective. You breathe more deeply. You think more clearly. You return to the present moment. And in that present moment, you realize you are alive and you have the power to move your life in any direction you choose. Movement is not just physical, it is transformational. Your body is a living miracle. Every second, without your awareness, it performs millions of functions. Healing, detoxifying, regenerating, and keeping you alive. But like any system, it runs best when fueled with the right ingredients. The food you eat is not just about taste, calories, or appearance. It's information, a language your body understands on a cellular level. Each bite either feeds your energy or steals it. And in today's fast-paced world, where processed foods are cheap, quick, and addictive, it's easy to forget that food is your first medicine. When you begin to nourish your body with intention, you reconnect with your vitality. Fresh fruits, leafy greens, whole grains, healthy fats, clean water. These are not just health trends, they are life-giving gifts from nature. They carry energy, sunlight, and healing frequencies. Eating well isn't about being perfect or following strict diets. It's about respect for your body, your life, and your future. Because how you treat your body today shapes how it will treat you tomorrow. The aches, the fatigue, the brain fog, many of these are not just signs of age, but signals of imbalance, often caused by what we feed ourselves. We live in a time where fast food is easier to access than fresh food, and where emotional eating is a coping mechanism for stress, anxiety, and unresolved pain. But the truth is, food should not be used to numb what we feel. It should be used to fuel who we are, learning to listen to your body's cues. True hunger, emotional cravings, sensitivity, and satisfaction. is one of the most powerful forms of self-love. It means asking, am I eating to feel alive, or am I eating to escape? This simple awareness can spark life-changing habits. Nourishing your body also means more than just food. It includes hydration, drinking clean water to flush out toxins and keep your cells vibrant. It includes mindful eating, slowing down, chewing properly, and being present with your meals. And it means detoxing not just your plate, but your environment, the products you use, the air you breathe, and the stress you carry. Everything you consume, physically, mentally, and emotionally, either supports your energy or drains it. Begin to make choices that align with how you want to feel, not just what's convenient in the moment. So take back your power. Fuel yourself like someone who is going somewhere important. Because you are. When you nourish your body with life, you create the foundation for clarity, strength, longevity, and joy. You show your body that it is loved, supported, and honored. And in return, your body will carry you with more energy, more resilience, and more light. Remember, you don't have to be extreme, just consistent. One good choice at a time can lead to a life that feels radically different. And it all starts with how you nourish the sacred home you live in, your body. The people you surround yourself with are either watering your soul or draining your spirit. Energy is contagious, far more than we often realize. When you spend time around people who constantly complain, criticize, gossip, or dwell in negativity, their energy seeps into your own. You begin to carry their weight, think their thoughts, and unconsciously limit your potential. On the other hand, when you are surrounded by people who speak with kindness, live with purpose, and uplift others, you begin to shine a little brighter. Your inner world reflects the energy of your outer circle. You must understand, protecting your energy isn't selfish, it's necessary. You are allowed to outgrow people who are not growing with you. You are allowed to create distance from those who drain your joy, dismiss your dreams, or only show up when they need something. And you are absolutely allowed to choose peace over chaos, alignment over obligation. Many people stay stuck, not because they lack ability or ambition, but because they are tied to environments and relationships that stifle their spirit. The courage to walk away from what dims you is the first step towards stepping into what empowers you. Take a moment to reflect. Who do you spend the most time with? How do you feel after you leave them? Energized or exhausted? Inspired or deflated? The answers to those questions tell you everything you need to know. Your life will rise or fall depending on the energy you allow around you. Just as a plant cannot grow in toxic soil, your dreams cannot thrive in toxic environments. That's why being selective about your inner circle is not judgment, it's discernment. You are not better than anyone, but you do deserve to be surrounded by people who see your light and help you shine it. At the same time, you also have a responsibility to be the radiance you seek. Don't just look for positivity. Be the positive force. Speak life into others. Celebrate their wins. Show up with authenticity. The energy you emit will attract others who align with it. When you live with love, honesty, and openness, you naturally begin to find people on the same path. This is how your tribe finds you, not by searching, but by shining. You don't have to chase connection when you become the connection. In the end, your energy is your most precious currency, and the people you share it with should treat it with care. Choose to be around those who reflect your future, not your fears. Surround yourself with those who remind you of your worth, even when you forget it. Build a community where growth, healing truth, and support are mutual. Because when you are surrounded by radiance, you rise higher, dream bigger, and live deeper. And most importantly, you begin to realize you were never meant to do life alone. You were meant to grow in love together. In a world that glorifies hustle, business, and constant productivity, rest has become a radical act. We are told to keep going, to grind harder, to push through exhaustion as if burnout were a badge of honor. But the truth is, you cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot give your best to the world if you're constantly running on fumes. Rest is not a sign of laziness. It's a sign of wisdom. It's the quiet strength that says, my peace matters, my health matters, I matter. When you begin to prioritize rest, you reclaim a sacred part of yourself that the modern world too often ignores. Your nervous system needs rest. Your mind needs stillness. Your body needs space to repair and recharge. But beyond the physical, your spirit needs rest. It needs silence, solitude, and moments of pause to return to center, to hear its own voice amidst the noise. When you constantly live in reaction mode, jumping from task to task, you lose touch with your intuition. You become disconnected from your purpose, and your life begins to feel heavy. But when you slow down, truly slow down, you create space for clarity to emerge, for creativity to rise, and for your soul to breathe. Protecting your peace means making conscious choices about how you spend your time and energy. It means setting boundaries, not just with others, but with yourself. It's learning to say no to what drains you, even when it's uncomfortable. It's turning off your phone when your body is begging for rest. It's walking away from conversations that disturb your spirit. It's understanding that you don't have to attend every argument you're invited to, and not every demand deserves your immediate response. Peace is not the absence of noise, it is the presence of alignment. We often think rest only comes at night, but true rest can and should be woven throughout your day. A deep breath before a meeting, a quiet moment in the sun, 5 minutes of stillness with your eyes closed. These are not luxuries, they are lifelines. They are the small moments that recalibrate your energy and prevent overwhelm from becoming your baseline. You are not a machine. You are a living being with rhythms, emotions, and cycles. Honoring your need for rest is an act of self-respect, a declaration that you are no longer available for a life that only runs on stress and survival. So today, give yourself permission to rest, not when you're burned out, but before you reach that point, not as a reward for productivity, but as a necessity for your well-being. Rest is not empty time. It's healing time. It's when your body repairs, your soul restores, and your peace is renewed. In the silence of rest, you remember who you are without the noise, without the pressure, without the performance. And from that place of inner stillness, you rise stronger, clearer, and more whole. Because when you protect your peace, you protect your power, and that changes everything. There comes a point in life when success alone isn't enough. When business starts to feel empty and achievements begin to lose meaning. That's when your soul starts whispering, there must be more. That whisper is purpose. It's the deep inner calling that tells you you're not just here to survive, but to contribute something meaningful to the world. Finding your purpose isn't about perfection or having everything figured out. It's about discovering what sets your soul on fire, what gives your life depth, direction, and significance. Purpose is what transforms effort into joy and struggle into meaning. When you live without purpose, life can feel like a treadmill, constant motion but no direction. You may be doing all the right things, yet still feel unfulfilled. That's because human beings are wired not just to exist, but to express, to serve, to grow. Purpose gives your energy focus. It lifts you on the hard days, guides your decisions, and fuels your resilience. It doesn't always have to be grand or world-changing. It can be as simple as raising kind children, creating art that heals, or showing up each day with compassion and courage. The size of the purpose doesn't matter. The sincerity does. To find your purpose, you must listen, not to the noise of the world, but to the voice within. What excites you? What breaks your heart? What are you naturally drawn to? What makes you lose track of time? These are clues. Your purpose often lies at the intersection of your passion, your pain, and your gifts. It may be hidden in the wounds you've overcome, the skills you've refined, or the experiences you've endured. Sometimes your greatest struggles prepare you for your deepest calling. Sometimes the fire you walked through becomes the light you offer others. But purpose doesn't just appear one day. It must be pursued, nourished, and aligned with your everyday choices. You must protect it from distractions, doubts, and detours. The moment you start walking toward your purpose, resistance will show up. Fear, imposter syndrome, procrastination. They're all part of the journey. But if you stay true, your purpose will start to fuel you. You'll no longer need constant motivation because something greater is moving you. You won't just be working. You'll be serving. You won't just be busy. You'll be fulfilled. In the end, a purpose-filled life is not just more successful, it's more alive. When you align your energy with your deepest values and your truest gifts, everything shifts. You stop chasing things that don't matter. You start showing up with passion, integrity, and heart. And most importantly, you inspire others to do the same. Because when you find your purpose, you don't just change your life. You become a catalyst for transformation in the lives around you. So keep searching, keep listening, keep stepping into the fire that fuels you. Your purpose is your power, and it's waiting to be lived. Letting go is one of the most courageous acts you can ever take on your journey to growth. It requires vulnerability, strength, and deep self-awareness. Often we hold on to things that no longer serve us. Old grudges, limiting beliefs, toxic relationships, or past failures. Not because we want to, but because we fear the unknown. We cling to familiar pain because it feels safe, even when it stifles our potential. But to level up, to truly rise into the next version of yourself, you must release what weighs you down. Letting go is not losing. It is making space for what is meant to come. Carrying unresolved emotions and stories from the past acts like invisible chains around your spirit. They drain your energy, blur your vision, and keep you stuck in patterns that no longer align with your highest good. When you hold on to anger, resentment, or regret, you are giving away your power to things that happened outside of you. But you have the choice and the right to reclaim your power by consciously deciding to let go. It does not mean forgetting or excusing. It means freeing yourself from the burden so you can walk forward with peace and purpose. Letting go also means releasing the need for control and certainty. Life is fluid and growth demands trust in the unknown. Holding on tightly to how you think things should be or how others should treat you only creates resistance. It keeps you stuck in frustration and disappointment. When you learn to surrender, you open your heart to possibility. You learn to flow with life's rhythms rather than fight against them. Surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means trusting that what is meant for you will come in its perfect time and form. The process of letting go is deeply personal and often challenging. It takes time, patience, and often repeated effort. Healing modalities like journaling, therapy, meditation, or forgiveness rituals can be powerful allies. But the most important part is your willingness to choose freedom over comfort, growth over stagnation, and hope over fear. Each time you release something that no longer serves you, you reclaim a piece of your authentic self. You create space for new energy, new opportunities, and new joy. Ultimately, leveling up in life requires a willingness to shed your old skin. Just as a tree drops its leaves to prepare for new growth, you too must let go to grow. It's a sacred act of self-love and renewal. When you finally release the past, you open the door to your future, one filled with greater clarity, resilience, and purpose. Remember, your next chapter begins the moment you decide to let go. So breathe deeply, trust the journey, and step boldly into the freedom that awaits you. In the race toward your goals, it's easy to overlook the small wins while fixating on the finish line. Yet, every victory, no matter how tiny, is a testament to your effort, resilience, and growth. Celebrating these moments is not about vanity or arrogance. It's about honoring your journey. It's about recognizing that progress is progress and that each step forward deserves to be acknowledged. When you celebrate, you reinforce positive momentum, fuel your motivation, and cultivate gratitude for how far you've come. Celebration creates a powerful feedback loop within your brain. It tells your subconscious mind, this feels good. Keep doing this. Over time, these small acknowledgements build confidence, self-worth, and joy. It's like watering a seedling. Consistent encouragement helps it grow into a strong, flourishing tree. Without celebration, your journey can feel like a relentless grind where accomplishments quickly fade into a relentless pursuit of what's next. But when you pause to honor your progress, you cultivate a sense of fulfillment that sustains you long term. Moreover, celebrating your victories changes your relationship with failure and setbacks. When you recognize and applaud your wins, you develop resilience and perspective. You start to see challenges not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones. You learn that growth is not linear and that each small success is a building block toward your ultimate vision. This mindset shift allows you to bounce back more quickly, stay focused, and maintain hope even in difficult times. Celebration is also a communal act. Sharing your victories with loved ones, mentors, or your community invites support and encouragement that multiply your joy. It fosters connection and reminds you that you're not alone on your path. When you celebrate with others, you inspire them to recognize their own progress and cultivate a culture of encouragement and upliftment. Together, you create a ripple effect that elevates not just your life, but the lives around you. Finally, never underestimate the power of gratitude in celebration. When you celebrate, take time to feel deeply grateful for your efforts, your strengths, your lessons, and your growth. Gratitude transforms achievement from a momentary event into a meaningful milestone. It roots you in the present, honors your journey, and sets a foundation for even greater success. So, celebrate boldly, celebrate often, celebrate every victory, big or small, because your life is a collection of these moments, and in them lies the beauty of your transformation.